Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Steve Largent.
Thank you, good afternoon, and welcome to a special edition of this year's keynote program. I know we're in for a really great treat today. You know, it's going to be exciting anytime we get the CEOs of the 4 largest carriers in the world's leading wireless market together. Throw in Jim Cramer, and that's a lot of star power on one stage, so this should be really fun. We talk a lot about the expanding wireless ecosystem. Handsets are changing, application development is through the roof, technology is improving, and over-the-top players are making their mark. But none of this fantastic growth and opportunity would exist without the carriers. The hundreds of billions of dollars that they've invested to build out the world's best networks is fundamental to the industry's success. It is the reason the U.S. wireless industry is flourishing today, and it's critical to the success in the future. They're also committed to innovation. Each carrier is dedicating resources to developing remarkable solutions and applications. They're forging new relationships, and through those relationships are playing key roles in producing cutting-edge services and products. All of that is happening in the world's most competitive wireless market. The battle to serve the customer best drives them and the U.S. market better than any regulation ever could. No one understands and appreciates that more than the 4 CEOs we're about to hear from. Dan Mead has been at Verizon Wireless since day one. He was one of the company's founding senior executives, serving as president of Midwest Operations in 2000. 5 years later, he was named president of Verizon Services Corporation. Over the next 5 years, Dan was promoted to president of Verizon Telecom, then chief operating officer at Verizon Wireless, and then in 2010, Dan became president and CEO of Verizon Wireless. Dan earned both his bachelor's degree and MBA from Penn State University and has received the school's highest honor presented to a graduate. Today, it's our honor to have him with us. Please help me welcome Mr. Dan Mead.
Wow, what a great crowd and a great industry we're part of. Steve, thank you for that kind introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. A lot has happened in our industry since we were last here in New Orleans in 2005. Back then, there were no smartphones, there were no tablets, and phones were used primarily for voice calls, and those on the cutting edge used text messages. Today, digital technologies have fundamentally and dramatically changed our world. Things that just a short time ago seemed to be out of a science fiction movie. Video chats, wireless public safety notifications, viewing live public events on a wireless device are all so commonplace now that we almost take them for granted. And all of these developments depend on networks that the wireless industry has built. Collectively, and Steve just said it, we've invested hundreds of billions of dollars in these networks that have launched countless new products and services and have created new markets, new jobs, and even new industries. It's no exaggeration to say that the wireless industry has been one of the country's greatest economic growth engines. Unfortunately, this innovation and economic growth that's been the hallmark of our industry is at risk today due to the spectrum shortage that we face. There is no disputing the fact that there is a looming spectrum crunch. Greater use of smartphones, tablets, and other data devices, together with a steadily growing appetite for wireless data in all forms, is accelerating the need for more spectrum. The FCC estimates that the industry demand for mobile data by 2015 will be 25 to 50 times greater than in 2010. And the FCC also predicts that if additional spectrum is not made available in the near term, mobile data demand will likely exceed capacity by 2014. This is certainly the experience of Verizon Wireless. Data usage on our network has more than doubled in each of the last 3 years. And on our new 4G LTE network, after just 6 months, data usage was at levels that were not reached for years on our 3rd generation network. Verizon Wireless has the largest LTE network in the United States, covering more than 2/3 of the population and 230 markets. By the end of this year, we're going to reach 400 markets. Other carriers are also deploying LTE. As an industry, we're working with partners to deliver and develop devices, applications, and solutions that will change people's lives for the better. I'd like to show you a brief video that brings to life some of the innovations LTE solutions deliver that show how empowering this technology can be. So clearly for the wireless industry to continue our history of innovation, in order for us to deliver benefits of advanced technology to consumers, we need additional spectrum to reach the marketplace soon. I agree with Chairman Janikowski's recent statement, and I quote, "Failure to meet this growing demand for spectrum could stifle the vast opportunities of mobile broadband. Opportunities not only for improved education and public safety, but opportunities for our entire economy and our global competitiveness," end quote. As an industry, I think that we need to applaud Congress and the administration for freeing up more spectrum through the legislation that was recently signed into law by the President. However, you know it's going to be some years before that spectrum is ready for use. Since Verizon Wireless will need additional spectrum in some markets by 2013 and many more markets by 2015, we can't wait for years for that spectrum to become available. So to manage the coming spectrum crunch, we've deployed new hardware and new software technologies that make more efficient use of our spectrum. And we've reached into the secondary market both to buy and to sell spectrum. We're seeking approval to purchase AWS spectrum from 4 cable companies. Everyone in this room is familiar with that. That spectrum is not in use today, but will be put to use by Verizon Wireless quickly to expand the capacity on our LTE network. We're working closely with the Department of Justice and the Federal Communications Commission as they review our spectrum purchase. We're confident the regulators will understand that this purchase is good for Verizon Wireless customers and good for the entire broadband economy. And we look forward to a decision by midsummer. We also recently announced an open public sale of spectrum we currently own in the 700A and B blocks. In light of our pending AWS purchase, we no longer have the same immediate need for this A and B spectrum. That's why our sale is contingent on the successful acquisition of the AWS assets. Our decision to sell the A and B block licenses clearly indicates we're not interested in warehousing spectrum. And for the record, no one is forcing us to sell those licenses. We're making the A and B block licenses available to others, one, because it's the right thing to do for our company, and it's also the right thing to do for the industry. We believe both of these initiatives demonstrate we're responsible stewards of these high-value and extremely costly assets. These initiatives are signs of a healthy secondary spectrum market, a market that is sorely needed given the looming spectrum crunch. If the wireless industry is going to continue to be a key engine for economic growth, if mobile data is to continue to unlock profound benefits for consumers, we need to avoid this spectrum crunch and get unused spectrum in the hands of those that can generate further innovation. More spectrum means more innovation in healthcare. More spectrum means improvements in public safety. And more spectrum means greater educational opportunities for all Americans. And more spectrum ensures that we can continue to lead as America the rest of the world in broadband infrastructure and innovation, and that the wireless industry continues to serve as a vibrant growth engine for our country. Thank you for your attention today, and enjoy the rest of this afternoon and the show. Thank you.
Well, how many of you have an all-you-can-eat rate plan? I do. Today we see those in bucket plans as givens, right? We take them for granted. They're certainly part of the value proposition that provides U.S. consumers the best wireless deal on the planet. Well, AT&T came up with the first one-rate plan back in 1998, when our next speaker was the president and CEO of the company's wireless services. Dan Hesse spent 23 years at AT&T, also holding other executive positions in areas such as network operations, network management, international services, human resources, strategic planning, product management, and sales. Dan has been president and CEO of Sprint Nextel since 2007 and has numerous personal distinctions to his credit. Laptop Magazine, RCR Wireless, Fierce Wireless, Glassdoor, and Wireless Business and Technology Magazine have all honored Dan for his leadership and executive skills today. He's also committed Sprint to developing more sustainable practices and policies that have been recognized around the world. Dan received his bachelor's degree from Notre Dame, an MBA with distinction from Cornell, and his MS from MIT. He was awarded the Brooks Thesis Prize for writing the best thesis in any master's program at MIT's Sloan School of Management. And it's my pleasure to introduce you to the CEO of Sprint Nextel, Mr. Dan Hesse.
Well, hi. It's almost good evening, especially those who are on the East Coast time. I don't know how many of you were here this morning, but I tell you, at my age, it's a compliment to be called a rookie. I like that. So today's topic is Beyond LTE, aka Lots to Explain, the acronym that's launched 1,000 conferences. We have lots to explain because consumers are confused by what 4G LTE means. Many customers don't know what 4G is, and we partly have ourselves to blame because the industry has confused customers by taking creative license with the use of the digit 4. Perhaps LTE will be the one thing we can all rally around and agree on. With the issues lying ahead of our industry, financial and regulatory, it has never been more important for wireless carriers to gain the public's trust. But according to the 2012 Reputation Institute survey, the reputation of our industry has dropped to the lowest of any major industry. Even cable and oil industries rate higher with consumers than we do. That's a bummer. Yeah. It's both obviously disappointing, it's very troubling. The investments in our networks and the product innovation we have brought to consumers and businesses have added billions to U.S. GDP, and we've now regained global wireless leadership. No other country comes close to America's LTE investments. No country has the benefits of the U.S.'s smartphone penetration. Regarding innovation, Sprint alone had 450 U.S. patents granted last year, placing it in the top 10 of all companies globally, according to the Patent Board. Mobile devices are a critical tool in the way we conduct our day-to-day lives, and they're also an integral part of the economy, helping drive productivity and spurring innovation, whether that be Silicon Valley or on Main Street. Wireless service is part of the social fabric of nearly every person in this country, connecting people to resources, information, entertainment, friends, and family. Our impact on consumers' lives is not just about smartphones and tablets. New wireless-based solutions and products will improve how we provide health care, educate our children, drive our cars and trucks, bank, shop, and pay for services. This is a remarkable level of achievement and innovation, perhaps unprecedented in business history, yet our reputation falls woefully short, especially when compared to how the public looks at companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and some other tech companies. They're called over-the-top players, perhaps because they're, of their over-the-top profitability margins, because they ride over the top of our enormous capital investments. I focus so intensely on reputation because the future of our industry is about personalization. How customers use the technology we provide and make it useful and relevant to them. Trust has never been more important for any industry because there has never been a device in human history more personal than the smartphone. Smartphones go with their owners everywhere, and one's even ringing here right now. They hold an increasing amount of personal information and can handle your banking, monitor your health, and act as your credit card. M2M solutions monitor vital signs, sleep patterns, driving habits, buying preferences, travel, and more. The question is, who will the customers trust to provide these services? A recent report shows that 57% of smartphone and tablet users consider it convenient and useful to be able to just simply swipe their wireless device to pay for a purchase. However, 40% of all smartphone users are concerned about threats such as activity monitoring, hacking, credit card security, and viruses. But trust goes beyond concerns about identity theft and hacking. The New York Times points out in a recent article on this particular subject that the real issue is who is collecting the information and what are the values that are held by those companies. Trust and values are at the heart of reputation. According to the Reputation Institute, product offerings, customer experience, and values drive the reputation of our companies and our industry today. In the future, however, our response to customer needs for safety, security, and privacy will play an increasingly important role in building or in damaging our reputations. There is no shortage of opinions about how we address the growing issues around safety, security, and privacy. In preparing my remarks, I noted a simple search of wireless and privacy generated 2.2 billion hits. So in that haystack of information, it's difficult to separate myth and reality. It is clear that emotion, innuendo, political agendas, and downright fiction dominate over facts, research, and reality. Reminds me of the presidential election. But it's easy to understand why there is so much confusion and at times apathy as consumers try to understand the extent of the damage inflicted by the bad actors that steal information and identities. The outdated and often confusing laws and regulations, and also the shrill arguments generated by special interests and political infighting. For most consumers, it's just too complicated. They don't know who to trust to make it simple, clear, and transparent. And in the absence of information, they'll simply defer to who they trust more. Safety, security, and privacy are linked together, and I'd like to outline for you some of the steps that we're taking at Sprint, and other wireless carriers are taking action as well. We want to earn trust, be transparent, educate consumers, and provide consumers with privacy choices. Protecting consumer privacy is part of the handshake that we make with customers as we offer them products and services. We will put protections in place, like the ability to verify via independent audits so that we aren't asking for blind trust. Like President Reagan said, trust but verify. Sprint is proactively addressing our customers' growing concerns with protecting their devices, working with best-in-class partners like Norton, McAfee, and Lookout to provide solutions that protect devices from theft and security threats. Today at CTIA, we announced Sprint Guardian, an industry first. Guardian offers customers a single download of a suite of apps that protects multiple devices and provides for centralized management. We also sponsor an industry-first Mobile Security Council, which is working to launch a new consumer-focused education website. Last week, we introduced Professional Grade, a security solution for businesses. Security is a term that covers a very large area, including safety. We support the CTIA and the FCC in deterring smartphone theft and protecting consumer data, and will fully implement the recommendations and guidelines that have been developed on schedule. Collectively, though, we need to educate consumers. Too many don't secure their devices. In a study that we participated in with Symantec, where phones were lost in public locations, we found that among the finders of the phone, 96% of lost smartphones had information accessed by the finders of the device. 89% of devices were accessed for personal apps and information. 83% of devices were accessed for corporate apps and information. 70% of devices were accessed for both business and personal apps and information. And only 50% of smartphone finders contacted the owner to return the phone. Surprise, surprise. So the odds are just 50-50 of getting your phone back, but nearly 90% that your personal information is going to be breached. Sprint also provides peace of mind to parents on how their children or teen is using these devices. Sprint Guardian lets the parent decide through how they use their device on how to protect the family's devices. This suite of services and applications includes Family Locator, Drive First, and Sprint Mobile Controls. In addition to offering multiple security and safety protections, Sprint is committed to safeguarding confidential information as well. For decades, customers have trusted us to protect and safeguard their personal information. We ensure customers are fully informed of our data collection practices and give proper consent in order to protect their privacy. It's the right thing to do, and customers should expect nothing less from their carrier. More than half of consumers receive ads on their mobile devices, and the desire for more customer-specific advertising is increasing, both from advertisers and from consumers. So to address this, Sprint will soon launch a new mobile advertising policy driven by two guiding principles. Educating consumers about what information is collected and giving them multiple choices and control of how to opt out or opt in. We know that implementing our new policy absolutely has to be well executed out of the gate in a way that makes sense for our business, but also builds trust with our customers. We are also working to follow the recommendations and requests the White House, the Department of Commerce, and the FTC recently outlined in this area. So to ensure safety, security, and privacy, we will enlist an outside firm to provide verification that we're living up to our commitments. This independent process verification will provide a level of inspection and trust no different than the way independent auditors look at financial disclosures and verify their accuracy. clear, concise, upfront notification of privacy standards and use of location information will be provided in a way that enables customers to choose the information that they want to have shared. Our intent is to be able to provide upfront notification to new devices or new activations or lines of service through a notice pushed to the device within 24 hours of activation, and we begin using that information only after a customer has confirmed receipt of notification, and we'll give customers multiple ways to opt in or opt out. We believe there's an opportunity for the industry to work together to develop standard practices and standard notices of privacy updates across all platforms, regardless of carrier. It is desirable to alert customers uniformly so that they can make informed decisions before downloading an app or using a particular service. We welcome new participants from throughout the wireless industry, and we believe as an industry, we've got to work together to get this right. So in conclusion, the CTIA is an excellent vehicle whereby we can all work together to build and enhance the reputation of our industry. Collectively, we need to build trust. Last year, the CTIA focused in particular on distracted driving and on the environment. The connected vehicle has the potential to distract, but on the other hand, also to make the driving experience safer. Wireless devices can end up in landfills, or on the other hand, they can be reused or recycled and deliver applications like GPS that make our planet greener. Sprint has launched 3 ULE Platinum certified eco-friendly devices this year, and we're currently ranked by Newsweek as #3 among America's greenest companies. Because of the unprecedented personal nature of wireless devices, it has never been more imperative for our industry to gain the public's trust. We owe it to our customers, and we owe it to ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Our next guest is completing his second year at T-Mobile USA. Philipp Humm joined the company in June of 2010, and shortly after that was named President and CEO. Before that, he held numerous titles with the parent company, Deutsche Telekom. He became President and Chief Sales Officer for T-Mobile Germany in 2005. Philipp held that position for 3 years, and during that time, he was also made a member of the Management Board of Directors for the company's telecom division. Philipp became Chief Regional Officer and a member of the Executive Committee of T-Mobile International in 2009. He was promoted to his current position 1 year later. His career has included a variety of non-telecom experiences. Philipp began at Procter & Gamble back in 1982, served as an analyst and consultant for McKinsey, and at one time was the Managing Director of Amazon Germany and France and Vice President Europe. Philipp studied business in Germany and at the University of Michigan and earned his MBA from IMD in Switzerland. His professional focus is very much on T-Mobile USA, but he does have a considerable personal interest in Europe, since his 3 children are all studying at colleges abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Philipp Humm.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's great to be here at CTIA. I'm pleased to say T-Mobile is back competing aggressively as a challenger in wireless. I'll spend some time bringing you up to date on the T-Mobile business, following the termination of the AT&T deal, which of course was a big topic on this stage last year. That's at least what I heard, because we couldn't attend. But first, I want to touch on the promise of mobile data, the trends we're seeing at T-Mobile, and also discuss how our industry can effectively meet the ever-growing demand for data in a 4G world. I have 2 key messages. First, intelligent, unlimited rate plans are the future. Second, to manage an exploding data demand, we require more spectrum and have to deploy innovative technologies to manage capacity. By all accounts, data consumption over wireless networks is exploding. We see this firsthand at T-Mobile. In just the last 5 years, we have 146 times more data crossing our network. And the 4G speeds we are delivering on our 4G 42 network today are 100 times faster than the 2G world our customers were living in just 5 years ago. More customers are taking advantage of these speeds. Today, 80% of T-Mobile's new contract customers are using smartphones. And nearly 60% of our contract customers now carry smartphones, nearly half are 4G capable. Just 3 years ago, our smartphone customers consumed on average 25 megabits of data each month, mainly really emailing. Contrast that with today, when on average, T-Mobile smartphone customers are consuming 760 megabit of data every single month. And this growth will continue to increase. Now it's our job as an industry to deliver plans and products that can sustain the growth. At T-Mobile, we've established a consumer-friendly and intelligent way to offer unlimited data. Nearly 90% of new T-Mobile smartphone customers choose unlimited data plans with always-on access to 2.5G data and 2 gigabit or more high-speed 4G data. This approach prevents T-Mobile customers from overpaying for data, and they don't have to worry about overages. We'll keep innovating with flexible, consumer-friendly rate plans as more of our customers adopt data and as usage increases. At T-Mobile, we have intelligent rate plans that customers like and which have helped us manage the increased demand for data. But that won't be enough. We also need innovative technology solutions as well as additional spectrum. This morning's keynote covered the fact that our industry is spectrum constrained. Spectrum exhaust estimates range from the very near future to 2020. The US in particular is spectrum constrained compared to Europe and other parts of the world, while we have a greater number of smartphone users consuming significantly more data. Countries like Germany and Spain have almost 30% more assigned spectrum today. So the need for spectrum is urgent, given it takes a while for new spectrum to be auctioned and put to use. In such a spectrum-constrained environment, we need to be as smart as possible as an industry in managing our capacity. At T-Mobile, we are working on various ways to make the most of the capacity we have. For example, advancements in quality of service differentiation, which will allow networks to dynamically adjust capacity to best serve customer needs. Or recent innovations in small cell technologies are also very, very encouraging. While the cost and the complexity of these solutions remain, smaller cells can increase spectral efficiency per square area to provide a better, faster mobile data experience and meet the growing demand. It makes sense given traffic is not evenly distributed across the network. 3GPP standards are also evolving to enable more intelligent integration and offload mechanisms for heterogeneous networks called headnets. Another big effort we're undertaking this year is refarming a large portion of our GSM voice spectrum, which is in the 1900 bands, to use it for 4G data. A big opportunity is also predictive delivery of video. Video accounts for about half the 4G data traffic on our network today, and it's a feature that mainstream users are just beginning to discover. With predictive delivery of video, we can bring the content at off-peak hours when capacity is less constrained. Wi-Fi is a very attractive solution for seamless offloading of voice and data, and we include IMS-based Wi-Fi clients on many of T-Mobile's smartphones. Last but not least, as an industry, we should also consider private network utilization. According to Strategy Analytics, 61% of American households have Wi-Fi networks. These networks have excess bandwidth that with the right technology could help power the explosion of wireless devices and services. And with the right business model, consumers could benefit from securely sharing their Wi-Fi, receiving better rates or credits. We should foster as an industry companies which are advancing this type of crowdsourced Wi-Fi. So despite our capacity challenges, the US is setting the pace for data growth and 4G innovation. It's an exciting time in our industry, and it's also an exciting time for T-Mobile. I pose with a quick update on our business. We had 9 tough months under the pending AT&T deal, as you can imagine, but now we're back with a reinvigorated challenger strategy and brand to return T-Mobile to growth. In just 5 months since the end of the deal, we are already making great progress. We'll publish our Q1 numbers on Thursday this week, so I can't disclose them now. But in 2011, despite the deal overhang, T-Mobile held its ground with fairly stable revenues. We even increased operating free cash flow to $3 billion, delivering $2.5 billion more cash and $1 billion more EBITDA versus our closest national competitor. And ARPU's increased year over year despite the fact that we aggressively lowered our rate plans. T-Mobile has America's largest 4G network, delivering true 4G speeds thanks to our early investments in fiber backbone. This year, we are launching a $4 billion network modernization, which will improve existing voice and data coverage and pave the way for LTE in 2013. This effort is already underway, and we have secured AWS spectrum licenses from AT&T, signed agreements with Ericsson and NSN to deploy LTE equipment at 37,000 cells, and our refarm efforts to reuse GSM frequency for data is on track for later this year. We're also fueling future growth with strategic investments in market areas as well. We're expanding our distribution. By the first half, we have more than 7,000 new doors which have been added. We're evolving T-Mobile into a serious B2B contender, investing in new B2B systems, tripling our sales force, and leveraging international synergies. We're also aggressively pursuing wholesale partners and have signed on phone MVNOs already this year. Finally, we're investing in the relaunch of the T-Mobile brand, which experienced some deterioration last year under the AT&T deal. We want T-Mobile to be known not only for affordability, but also for cutting-edge 4G technology. T-Mobile's vision is to become the best value in wireless, making cutting-edge 4G services affordable. You may have seen phase 1 of this rebranding effort on TV. We recently launched a new ad campaign and a competitive test drive site designed to help set the record straight about the cutting-edge 4G experience we offer. I'll sign off with a look at our new ad campaign, including our latest spot, which debuted yesterday and which shows T-Mobile's blazing 4G experience as compared to iPhone's customers on the AT&T network. I'm sure Ralph, who speaks after me, will have something to say about that one. Thank you very much and enjoy the show. Thank you.
This is the speed of the iPhone 4S on AT&T. What does 4G speed on T-Mobile look like? See it again? See how fast T-Mobile's 4G can be at T-Mobile.com/test drive.
Vega has been leading AT&T mobility since 2007, but his telecom experience spans nearly 4 decades. He started his career with Bell South in 1974 and has held a wide range of executive positions. Ralph's had oversight over broadband and internet services and Latin American operations. He joined Singular Wireless in 2004 as Chief Operating Officer and was promoted to his current position of President and CEO of AT&T Mobility 3 years later. In addition to the company's wireless business, Ralph had responsibility for wireline operations and UVerse, the AT&T broadband television offering. His personal story is one of incredible perseverance and inspiration. Ralph came to this country from Cuba as a young boy by himself after his parents and sister were detained at the airport by Cuban authorities. He lived with family friends who he'd never met for more than 3 years before being finally reunited with his family. He went on to earn a bachelor's degree from Florida Atlantic University and his MBA from Northern Illinois University. The rest, as I've told you, is impressive history. Under Ralph's direction, wireless is clearly the company's leading growth engine, and I'm looking forward to hearing his thoughts on how to make it even more successful. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Ralph de la Vega.
Thank you, Steve, and thanks to CTIA for putting on another great show. It's really good to be here with you and with my colleagues for this afternoon's roundtable. You know, I really like the theme of today's discussion, beyond the need for speed. And it's not because speed isn't still important. It is. In fact, I'm proud of the fact that PC World named our 4G LTE network the fastest network in the country, despite what anybody else says. DC Dean had a saying that's called, you know, it ain't bragging if it's true. Well, PC World called it like it is to the 9 market study. They said that our combination of HSPA Plus and LTE was the fastest combination in the country, and so we'll let them speak for themselves. But, you know, we are all actually investing heavily to make sure that we can deliver super fast connections. All the carriers are doing this. And actually, most of us now have announced plans to roll out LTE. So I am confident that we're going to have the speed that our customers need. But at AT&T, we're known for quite a while that our customers actually want more than speed. They aren't just looking to us to make our services faster. They're looking to us and the technology and solutions we provide to make the quality of life better. For us, meeting that challenge is a 3-part process. We do smart, careful research to give us the pulse of our customers and lead us to new ways to meet their needs. We take an open, collaborative approach to innovation to ensure that we get the best ideas wherever they come from. And then we develop new products grounded on our research and driven by our innovation process. I'd like to use my time this afternoon to give you a glimpse of that process in action. Last year, we commissioned some research into how consumers feel about digital technology, and in my mind, it revealed a major shift in consumer attitudes that is absolutely profound. The study confirmed that people have gone from being intimidated by technology to embracing all the things that our industry is doing to make lives richer. And there's several qualities of the connected life that are very and especially important to people. One of them we call digital kinship. It's the way that mobile technology fosters new shared interests and the way it helps us to share moments online or with someone in the next room or thousands of miles away. It's about keeping people connected and bringing them together wherever they may be. Another quality people value a great deal is something that we call digital guardianship. This is the power technology gives us to keep track of and watch over our families and never be out of touch or unable to help. It's about taking away some of the worry when we send a child off to college or leave an elderly parent home alone. It's the way that our industry's products and services give people peace of mind and freedom to live their lives. These, in my mind, are huge strengths, and they point to the potential that digital technology has to make people's lives better, fuller, and richer. But it's not enough to uncover these kinds of insights through research. The real challenge is to be extremely innovative in the way we apply these insights and make a real difference for our customers. At AT&T, we have dramatically changed dramatically changed the way we think about innovation, and we've gotten much more expansive and aggressive about seeking out the best ideas wherever that takes us. We don't wait for great ideas to come to us anymore. We go looking for them. And in the process, we're finding ways to enable a whole new level of innovation across the entire ecosystem. Take, for example, our employee innovation program. We call it TIP, the Innovation Pipeline. We believe it is the largest corporate crowdsourcing initiative in the world. In fact, TIP is a great blend of crowdsourcing with Silicon Valley's venture capital model. It empowers our employees and really taps into their creative thinking. The employee response has been fantastic. TIP membership grew by more than 70% last year, and today we have more than 120,000 employees participating in TIP. Think about it, 120,000 people. That's the equivalent of a very big company with everybody seeing innovation as part of their job description. Our employees generated 17,000 ideas to date, and we have committed $27 million to develop more than 50 of those. We're also devoting more resources than ever to building a new level of collaboration with the global developer community. Just last year, we launched the AT&T Foundry concept, a $90 million investment with other technology providers. We purposely put these foundry sites in places where innovation flourishes, including Silicon Valley and Israel. The AT&T Foundry is where ideas are made, where developers go to incubate the concepts that will improve lives. We've already seen a great response. Developers have pitched us more than 500 ideas to date, and more than 100 projects are in the works. My team and I actually visited the Israel Foundry earlier this year, and I can tell you firsthand that we're coming up with some really very cool things together. So what happens when you put the power of research and the potential of collaborative innovation together? Well, we develop solutions that empower individuals to be innovative in the way they live their lives, because the technology has become a part of who they are. Solutions that bring to life 8 simple words at the heart of our brand. It's what you do with what we do. Let me share a great example of that. It's a new platform or suite of solutions that we call AT&T Digital Life. Digital Life will be our industry's all-digital solution to home security. But it's so much more than that. We believe it will take customers from home security and monitoring to a new level of home automation that nobody else is offering. As we just announced yesterday, we scheduled trials of Digital Life this summer in Atlanta and in Dallas. And if I seem pretty excited about this, it's because this is really a game-changing solution. Up until now, alarm monitoring services have all been based on analog technology. But we've come up with a whole new kind of platform. Digital Life will be an all-digital, IP-based home security monitoring and automation platform. Here's some of the specific things that really set Digital Life apart. Again, it's all digital and IP-based. We actually started with a blank sheet of paper and designed Digital Life with the customer in mind. So there's practically no limit to the number and variety of devices that customers can easily connect and aggregate. And by the way, this is a platform that we own and support end-to-end. It's also a wireless-centric solution. This really simplifies the whole business of home security and automation and opens up lots more options and benefits to customers. And it gives us nationwide reach to roll out the platform. For bandwidth-intensive applications like video, you can actually bring your own broadband from any provider. Of course, that includes our own great AT&T broadband service. And we built Digital Life around a user interface that's intuitive and easy to set up, to customize, and to navigate. It gives the customer complete control of the platform. It gives you control wherever you are through your smartphone or your tablet. Digital Life is also very flexible and very customizable. You can choose a basic home security package or build a complete total home automation solution or anything else in between. We're going to be offering digital life through our AT&T stores, so you'll actually be able to try before you buy and experience the platform yourself. And I think that's really important, because when people actually see this solution and they see it in action, the wow factor is really very, very high. And of course, we're going to be offering digital life through AT&T.com as well. And we'll support digital life with 24/7 security monitoring centers where professionals answer the phone and get you all the help you need. So from lots of perspectives, digital life will be much more than just a new product. We believe it's going to change the way people live, work, and play. You know, we had a choice. We could enter the traditional old home security market and compete, or we could step back and redefine the home security and home automation experience and lead the way through wireless innovation. We chose the latter. And the result is a platform that, as we like to say, enables you to be at home wherever your life takes you. But in the process, we're making your home more than just a place where your family lives. This makes your home a part of your family in ways that it never was before. As we developed our approach, we stayed very mindful to those attributes of the connected life consumers desire today. In particular, we took those notions of digital kinship and digital guardianship and brought them home in the suite of solutions. So digital life will enable people to interact with their living spaces in new ways. And what's more, they're going to be able to do it simply and easily. We built the user interface and applications from the ground up for ease of use by anybody, anytime, any place they happen to be. For instance, consider a situation some of you may have experienced. You may have noticed a post on Gizmodo a couple of months ago about the guy who was traveling over New Year's Day and saw on his mobile phone that his house's energy was unusually high. So unusually high given that his kids were supposed to be spending the night elsewhere. Long story short, he found out his daughter was hosting a secret New Year's Eve party. Busted, right? And busted from 500 miles away. So with digital life, that guy could have done all of that even quicker and email his kids a video of themselves partying. Or consider some other examples. You're driving up to your house at night. Through an app in your smartphone, your house not only knows it's you, your house welcomes you home. As you pull into the driveway, your digital life system turns on the lights, unlocks the doors, and adjusts the thermostat. In another example, your kids lock themselves out after school. You can let them in via your tablet and use your monitoring cameras to make sure they do their homework. Every time the door opens, the system can take a picture and send it to you for even greater peace of mind. Or let's say that you receive an alert that a sensor connected to your hot water heater detects moisture. With a couple of taps on your phone or your tablet, you can shut off the water supply until you can get home and inspect it yourself. Those are just a few examples. The power of this all-IP platform, combined with our innovation capabilities and our growing relationship with app developers, opens up all kinds of possibilities. Digital life's capabilities could revolutionize aging in place and home-based healthcare. And beyond your home, this solution can integrate with your car, your boat, and if you own your own small business, there's a whole world of potential out there. This new platform is just one of the ways that AT&T is going beyond the need for speed to provide digital customers with a digital life. But it's something that you actually have to really see to appreciate. So let me show you a brief video to help you visualize it. Let's roll the video.
Home. If you ask her, it means this. To him, it means this. And to them, it's this. We know home means everything to you. And with AT&T Digital Life, it can now be just a click away. So you can check on them, manage that, and protect this from just about anywhere. AT&T is rethinking what it means to be at home. Isn't that what a digital life should be?
Thank you. I love that video. You know, what I love most about it is that you didn't see much in the ways of devices on hardware. That's not what customers want. They want solutions. You just saw lots of people living their lives, enjoying each other's company, and that's what digital life is all about. It's making a difference in people's lives, making their lives better, making their lives easier, and giving them a peace of mind. Actually, some of you got a first-hand look at digital life in action yesterday at our connected house over in the Garden District. As you can see from the photos, it's a pretty cool setup, and we had a good time showing it off. As I said, for us at AT&T, innovation is all about what you do with what we do. I hope I've given you a feel of how digital life will enable our customers to do some pretty amazing things with what we do. And I'm looking forward to more discussion about it in our roundtable. So thank you very much, everybody.